Okay, so today we're going to discuss in our roundtable about the jobs of the future. About the readings, I think it's very interesting the way they manage to explain how everything is going to be automated in the future. For example, if you're in the mood for going to McDonald's, there's nobody who is going to charge you for your burger. It's just going to be a computer with buttons and programs that will do it automatically for you. It's also very interesting how they talk about publicity, that publicity in the future would be like more, like I think in a more synthetic way. Well, what do you think, Diego?
Well, what I read was that there will be some jobs that will be forget in the future because they will be replaced with robots. We could see that there's a clear pattern in these jobs because the jobs that will be delayed, forget, are jobs that needs an specific that have a specific purpose or they need specific instructions to be. The only jobs that couldn't be changed with robots are the ones that have intimate relations with humans.
Yeah, for example, like being a doctor, that is very, very difficult to replace.
Yeah, or one of example that it's one of the most important is it's about the teaching
Oh,
part.
yeah.
There will be teachers for children in elementary school, but what you do if you have a special
screen,
request
uh-huh.
person like ones with Down syndrome, you need to have that human part, that emotional.
What do you think, Paola?
Yes, I think that in the future there will be like robots will take part an important part in our lives, but we cannot leave like the human part. Like for example, what they were saying, like the part of teaching, there will always be like people or some students that will need to have like that part of of someone explaining like them like in a personal way, and we can use like for example we use Blackboard and Socratic and all those skills that help us to make to be more practical, but like we do need to have like that human part. And also like with the doctors we can like automatize things like some operations, but there are some things that we are not like prepared just to leave it to the robots.
I also think it's really interesting that not only the like close relationship part, but also it says that there needs to the creativity jobs like painting or so will be really safe in that regard because it's hard to automate that. And well, yeah, I think there is like a lot of people don't see it, but most of the things we like see on the internet have some creativity work done to make them like that, and it is really an important fact.
Well, I think that all you say is very important, but I think that maybe in the future, today, in the actual world, maybe it doesn't exist many jobs that it could be progressive and very important in the future. Also, the careers, the professional careers, even though the professional careers doesn't exist actually, and that's why in the future maybe we have many other jobs that nowadays doesn't exist, and I think that it's a very important point.
Okay, so my second point that I want to like share is that yeah, she's right. In the future, with all the new technologies, new tools, new ways of learning, new platforms, many careers will be like created from the scratch, and some others will be left behind. For example, for example, art will have a new point of view, and that will also create that many new jobs that nowadays do not exist at all would be a common thing to see for our children or grandchildren. What do you think?
Okay, having the art part and considering and rehearsing what Arthur said, yeah, a robot, it's a Boolean code. It's true, false, 0, 1. So a robot cannot choose between a random number. There needs to be an algorithm for it to choose a specific number. You need to give the instructions to the robot so it could make them. So art isn't an instruction work, it's more like creativity. I don't know, I'm inspired and I draw lines. So you couldn't make a robot paint something that isn't created. You could make it research or find the cure of cancer, but you cannot make it feel emotions or have creativity.
Well, apart from that point, I also like the part where it said that women will have a lot more opportunities, because like the jobs that, well, it says lower education men will be mostly automized, but most women take, well, also lower education, but they take more people-focused jobs. So they will have that, and there will also be more jobs in the the jobs that will be growing, like physician or surgeon. So it will mostly just benefit them a lot.
Well, I think that Diego has a good point, because a robot maybe can't think by himself, and there are many jobs that a robot cannot replace for the humans. And also, I think that maybe the future jobs, it could be replaced by robots, but this has an advantage and a disadvantage. An advantage is that the production, it will be better, and the disadvantage, I think that is because many people can't get a job easily, and this could be a big problem in the future society.
I think that there will be creative, like new jobs. Like people is afraid of technology because they most of the time think that robots will take our jobs, and that a lot of people will be fired, and they will like a robot will take our place. But I think that there will be like a lot of new jobs that will be created because of the robots, because they, like Diego said, they cannot be like independent. So we will always need people that like take care of them. And an important part that also Diego said is that they cannot think by themselves. They always do like the things we ask them. and like they don't have their own criteria, so they will always depend on us.
Yeah, following that point, I believe, like, even though people fear not like losing their jobs to robots, uh, it mostly will be like redefining the jobs, but there won't be less jobs. Um, but it also could be like a little of a shock when like it starts happening or like in a big scale to the people. Like a lot of people will lose their jobs, and well, it would be like really harsh on economy. But after a time, I think we would adapt to that situation.
So, what do you think about the decision that Ford, one of the most important companies in the world in massive produce cars, of introducing the robots for do the specific things like crafting a car, replacing like I don't know, 5,000 or 50,000 people's jobs with only robots. What do you think the is the next step, considering the fear of the people of losing their jobs and losing control of the robots?
Oh, well, that does seem like some scary thing, but I don't believe we're like or artificial intelligence is still not that high that yeah that it would happen that. So I don't believe we're close to that date when robots will take over the planet.
Uh, we have been near that point. I think it was Facebook or a social media company had created one of the most intelligent computers in the world, and they have to shut it down because the computer began creating its own language.
Oh,
And we have the example of Sophia. Sophia is it's an android. She couldn't feel, but she seems like a human, uh, except for the skull, because it's transparent and you could see all the circuits, but she could reply to everything you ask her and do normal things. And she's a robot. She's only zeros and ones and zeros.
But I think that, like you said, the computer, the intelligent computer they made, when it started like getting out of control, they immediately shut it down. So yes, they can like do things that maybe we do not ask them to do, but at the end we have the control of them. Well, at least now we can like shut it down or make something like even more intelligent to get it like to have control of it.
Well, I think that just it's a simple matter of like taking advantage of what is good and like trying always to take the disadvantage as an opportunity to like get a better version of for example Sophia or like any service that would be automated in the future. So without anything left to say, anyone has a final comment?
I have one. I think that maybe the big deal here is not to think about the automatically thinking of a robot. I think the big problem here is that maybe in the future, I don't know, the people, yeah, they will have another opportunity, but I think that we are not prepared yet to automate every job in the world. That's my final.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that that's a good point because right now, like our parents did, they need to like get adapted to all the changes, and we also have to be like open-minded in that sense, so we can like receive the technology and learn from that.
Okay, thank you, and that's it for today.